Okay. In theory, that transition worked. Theory being a strong word here. Just trying to make sure that the audio... Wait. Yes, okay. Kitchen mic is enabled. Okay. Everything should be working. It's probably bad that that's the high bar that I'm going for here, is that everything should be working, because this is both the most and least ambitious cooking stream I think that I've ever set up. See and hear me. Good. Hopefully it's not too out of sync, because I'm still using the same offset as last time. So, I established from the very beginning, because Bearudite is a monster and gave me a terrible idea, that we were going to do poutine. I'm now having trouble finding the other... Ooh, there it is. Oh shit, we already had one of those? Oh well. We're doing this like super lazy, but also hopefully relatively good, because making fries is a pain in the ass. So I'm using frozen pre-made tater tots and fries, because making fries is a pain in the ass. You have to fry them twice. I don't care that much. So yeah. And then I'd hoped that we would make the paneer on stream, but it looks like that was going to take like between 1 and 2 hours, and also required that a store near me have cheesecloth, despite the fact that a bunch of them said they did, and then I went there and they didn't. So that was a thing. Yeah. Otherwise, good. So yeah, that's where we're coming at this from to start with. I mean, it's basically a lazy snack food. So yeah, the idea going in was that, well, Bearudite suggested buttered chicken, and I went, I'm not actually a massive fan of buttered chicken, so you know what, fuck it, let's go with Chicken Tika Marsala. And because I'm lazy, and I don't like dark meat all that much, instead of chicken thighs, I'll just do chicken breast. And I have the most poorly written Chicken Tikka Marsala recipe I could find, given that its instructions are entirely counterintuitive, which I didn't realize when I was looking at it. Like, I love this. The instructions for making our chicken marinade are: in a bowl, combine chicken with all of the ingredients for the chicken marinade. Let marinade for 10 minutes to an hour, and then in parentheses, or overnight if time allows. Like, then 10 minutes clearly isn't enough time, but okay. So this is gonna be fun. But yeah. Basic idea is just that we're gonna par cook the chicken, then move it to the side, and then use the same pan to start making the sauce. And then once we've got the rest of the sauce, because some of the sauce is going to come from the marinade, and then add everything else back in and cook it for a bit. We'll probably cook it a little bit more than this calls for, just because we want to thicken it up a bit so that we can just slap it on top of the fries. But yeah, and then to completely offset it, like, this has an ingredient list that covers the front half of a page, and then instructions that mostly cover the back half. And then sawmill gravy is like a tiny subsection of the page. But if I don't print them out, I won't remember, so. I'm trying to decide if I want to do poached eggs with the sawmill one, just because that would make it, let's go with more interesting. Hey, Marcusy. Choose your own adventure chicken. Yeah, it's like, so yeah, this is our chicken. I actually have been marinating this for 6 hours? 6 hours, I think. It's 28 ounces of chicken breast, which is about a breast and a half, which is also a really weird amount. And then it's a cup of plain yogurt, a tablespoon and a half of minced garlic. I just did like 6 cloves. I didn't measure. Who the fuck measures garlic? Especially when it's assuming that you probably told me to put not enough in. A tablespoon of ginger, 2 teaspoons of garam masala, a teaspoon of turmeric, a teaspoon of ground cumin, a teaspoon of Kashmiri chili. We don't have that, we're just using chili powder. Also, I can't handle spiciness, and Haley can't handle spiciness, so yeah. And then salt, and I threw some black pepper in for good measure. But yeah. So I think what's going to happen here is that I'm basically going to try and do 2 things at once. Like, I'm going to be doing prep work here while we're also slowly cooking off our chicken back here. And to that end, I'm thinking of going with... I think I'm going to go with this one, just because we don't need a terribly deep pan, but a wider pan will help for the later steps of making the proper sauce. And I feel like I had more logic than that, but it's just already gone out the window, so... There's just some, like, dust in here, so I'm just getting that out real quick. Oh yes, and then we have pre-made tomato sauce, because technically this calls for tomato puree, but functionally most places have replaced their tomato puree with tomato sauce, so all that really means is just that it's tomato puree with some extra spices in it, and I don't care that much about extra spices in Tikka Marsala, so we are going to be testing if one of these is still good. Because I bought 2, because once again, this recipe calls for a fucking random amount. It calls for 14 ounces of tomato puree. I don't know about in other countries, but here, it just occurred to me, I wonder if this is because they thought number 14 can. Oh well. Here, most canned vegetables come in a standardized size that is about 15 ounces. Or, for some reason, tomato sauce and tomato puree come in this smaller can, which is 8 ounces, which is still 2 cans, does not even kind of equal the amount that we need. In every case, it's too much, and I just don't fucking understand what they're... How they wrote this recipe, because it makes no sense. Hey Zuo, hey Tall Hobbit, how are y'all doing? Wait, Ghost Cap? What do you mean Ghost Cap? What? What's wrong? Wait, what did I did? What? Did I sort of like move around the thing? Cause that... Oh, okay. Cause it keeps... This camera has been giving me some weird stuff. Stream did a thing. Oh, wait, hang on. Hang on. Crap. The stream did a thing. OBS. Oh my god. Okay. It doesn't look like I've dropped any frames. Okay. Also, now I'm just confused because Manfred said that they have me on a lower resolution, and at least according to Twitch, I don't get the right of having a lower resolution. Right, the thing I keep forgetting to do. You need to bake at 450. I think you need to bake at the same temp. 425. We're gonna say 450 then. Yeah, so at least, so that I can have control, we do the cooking streams on Streamlabs OBS, and Streamlabs OBS is a perfectly well-designed program that makes you get stuff like dropped frames in a separate fucking window that you have to open. Huh. Oh, you can clip? I mean, that would also help. Hang on. Oh! Oh, that is weird. I don't know if that's the camera or if the... Okay, that's probably the camera. If I had to bet. Huh. But yeah. I'm actually going to get 2 sheet pans set up real quick just so we can start these baking before I forget about them more, because I will continue to forget about them. I was also just informed that my mom was attempting to watch the stream, but was having connection issues, so that's fun. Spoopy cam? Can it not be? I'm really okay with it not being spoopy cam. That's it. That's honestly a first. I don't think they've done that before. Like, they've done some weird shit before, but I don't think they've ever done that one before. So here's the real question that it just occurred to me. Since we're going to be covering the fries and such in... I'm getting live text updates on my mom's connection to the stream. Because we're going to be covering these in sauce. Do I want to season these on their own? Because I tend to do just like a sugar, salt, and pepper mixture for fries. And I don't know if I necessarily want that, because the reason I do it is because that way I can functionally make something that tastes like it's at least a little bit already dipped in ketchup without having to dip it in ketchup, because lazy. Also, it's just a nice flavor offset. I might just do this whole damn bag. No, because the way I want to do this is... the way that I'm sort of looking at this is that both of these are basically going to be sauces that we set aside and can then just dose out whenever we want to, if that makes any sense. Also, how do I make that? There. Okay, there we go. I've never opened a clip on the mobile chat, so I couldn't figure out how to make it go away. This is probably too many fries, but at the same time, is there really such a thing as too many fries? You all get back. I know that I am brushing delicious, salty potato remains off of my hands, but you have to stay back. Practice makes clipping faster. Yes, it does. I used to have practice at making good clips, and then I stopped practicing. I grabbed 2 bags. God, I have the attention span of a dying gnat. Look, if you ate enough fries to rupture, I feel like that's an achievement and should be celebrated. From a safe distance away from you, but celebrated. Okay. That's still preheating, so we can't really throw these in yet. Separate, you little bastards. Okay. Let's go for a wide plate just in case. Basically, I'm going to cut us over to the other camera real quick. That one, which will... Okay, I hear the transition sound. Hopefully it will look relatively okay. So basic idea here is just that we're going to be dosing some oil into this pan and just doing a very light, I guess technically pan fry of our chicken. We'll be doing little doses in one at a time. Well, not one at a time, in small batches. Just to get them kind of par cooked, because the idea behind where we think we got Chicken Tika Marsala is basically that a guy came into a restaurant, sat down, ordered, I think the idea is that we think it was buttered chicken, but I don't actually remember. And he said it was too dry and sent it back to the kitchen asking for it with more gravy, or asking for it with gravy. And this being an Indian restaurant, the cook was just like, gravy? He wants gravy, eh? And set the chicken, this already cooked chicken aside, and made a basically a quick sauce with what he had on hand, which was believed to be like tomato sauce and some cream, basically, and just sort of spiced it heavily, threw in some onions, and once he had a good, thick, nice spiced sauce, threw the chicken in, let it sort of cook into it, and then went, okay, good enough. Gravy on curry? Well, no, that's just it, though. It wasn't originally a curry. They were basically handed just like cooked chicken, but not necessarily like curried chicken. I need a... You know what I need? It's gonna look really stupid when you see it on camera, but whatever. Let's see if this works. Oh, that's probably the perfect size. It's still gonna look stupid, but it's gonna work. Probably. 60-40. It'll work well enough. I think. This makes me sad that I used the last of the black nitrite gloves earlier today, making the marinade. Because I didn't necessarily want to get marinade frickin' everywhere. Okay. I could probably also start doing the sausage gravy at the same time, but... Yeah, I just need to order more of the black nitrite ones. They're just... They definitely are like, ah yes, I am evil and I love it. To be fair, by the way, this is normally done with, like, fresh ginger. I'm not doing this with fresh ginger because we don't have enough things that we would use fresh ginger for, so I don't want to waste it. I mean, I guess I have candied ginger, but that's entirely different. Okay, that should be good. What utensil do I want to use for this? Ooh, that actually smells really good. Wow, the marinade smells good. That's wrong. So we're very much expecting a fair amount of this marinade to stay in the pan. Like, all we are doing here is just trying to par cook the chicken. I apparently did not separate those pieces quite well enough. Come here. Nope. You're just never going to be separated. Okay, fine. Fine. So, for anyone who wants to make this, I do need to point out that you need... Look, I'm guilty of this too. All the yogurt in my house is Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt will not work for this marinade, just because it's a higher protein content and less acidic, and what we needed for this was the acidic. Or the acidity. I might need tongs for this too, but we'll see. I think I can also fit a bit more in here. Oops. The issue is mostly just my hand is covered in glorious chicken goo, and I don't necessarily want to, well, I definitely don't want to touch anything else, but I also don't necessarily want to take it off and start prepping something else, because I will need to keep burning through gloves then. What am I doing? We have a spoon. We have like a spoon rest thing. Good lord. We've established that I'm not making the... I'm not going to make the sawmill gravy just yet. And that is our oven ready to go. So with the one that isn't covered in extremely dangerous chicken goo, I'm going to get these into the oven, get the oven all the way open. There we go. Yeah, this would probably... turning would probably go faster with tongs. Come here, tongs. And like, we are just par cooking this, so don't have to be too supremely careful, because all of the chicken will finish in... come here. In the stew proper. The curry proper, which is a stew, so... come here. Here. Oh my goodness. You little buggers. Welcome to the reason why professional chefs do not pre-cut their stuff usually if they can help it. Because even cooking requires flipping them all at the same time, and that is a pain in the butt. Especially if you miss one, which I'm assuredly going to do. Brr. Plus, this recipe is traditionally done with dark meat instead of white meat. Like I said, I prefer white meat, so we have to be a little bit more careful of not overcooking our stuff. But yeah, well, while we have this nice, I'm gonna say downtime, because we're basically just doing this repeatedly. How's everyone doing? How is your Saturday night going? I hope well. Hang on, that one's not flipped. I know that I personally have been watching way too much Desert Bus. Not even on purpose, just like I sat down and went, I guess it's still on from yesterday, because I left it running. And then just kept watching. And part of that was that I wanted to do Ring Fit this morning and was just like, oh god, my everything hurts. Like, if I bring my arms too close, like if I tighten my arms forward too much, I'm doing this in a way that would be very helpful if you could see me, but you can't see me. My body is just like, no, you can't do that. And then like certain ways of moving my legs just go like, you can't do that either, really. Like, I've definitely worked myself into a state. Because I really wanted to do more today. But I was just like, nope, that's not happening. Okay, these are all as cooked as we want them to be right now, so we're gonna evacuate them over to a plate that I've got over on the side, and then we will add more. I'm not worried about cross-contamination here, just because these are par cooked, so I'm not swapping up the utensil I'm using or anything like that. Like, we're going in with the knowledge that... Oop, come here. That, these are not done, so if we were cooking... Ooh, come here. If we were going to cook these all the way to doneness, I would probably want to... not probably, I would want to swap up utensils. But since we're not cooking it all the way to doneness, it's not a big deal. Oh my goodness, come here. I probably didn't need this silly tool that I'll show you when we're done with this. But I'm committed to it now. So it's what I'm sticking with. Okay, let's see how much of the pan we cover. We are going to get some little, like, crispy bits at the bottom. I'm not really gonna be unhappy about that. However, I am gonna turn the heat down a little bit just so we don't burn the outside of the chicken. I'm gonna have to wash my watch after this. Okay. I think we're gonna need one more additional batch after this. But we're getting there. We are certainly getting there. Come here. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that everything is in contact with the pan. Also, hey Dice, how are you doing? Much bus and trying to look away from bus long enough to bake and do other things? Yeah, it's a thing. Hey Siri, set a 10-minute timer. God, I love that you can do that. That's so nice, because I have this chickeny hand that it's like, I don't want to touch my phone with that. I mean, even this one has got stuff on it. But yeah, hey Dice, how are you doing? And ooh yeah, baking would be nice. The problem is that I'm just like, I'm trying to be good. And then yesterday, Haley and I had like comfort food. Actually, no. The worst part is yesterday, Haley and I had a comfort food binge and ordered Freddy's, which is like, okay, they're a place that does a really unique way of doing their burgers that I don't completely understand. But they're pretty good, like, fast food burgers. But we needed comfort food, so I ordered a very large burger and fries and was like, ah, yes, put this inside me. And then did the calorie math on it this morning and went, wow, I actually did burn enough calories to have eaten that yesterday. I wasn't under my preferred goal, which is actually to have a deficit of like 500 calories or so. I only had a deficit of like 200. But then I forgot that every Saturday we do our breakfast burrito thing and get a very high calorie breakfast burrito, and then I didn't play Ring Fit, so today I'm just like, I need to not think about the amount of calories I'm consuming today. Like, I told myself Tuesday was my cheat day, and then I still kept track of everything and made sure I ended within my goal. So I guess today is going to be my cheat day. Because no working out, no going for a walk, no nothing. I have been a fucking bump on a log, watching Desert Bus, and annoyingly enough, trying out the Destiny expansion. Mostly because I've been very confused. Okay. I feel like ass saying this, but I'm so confused how it happened. Back when I was really enjoying Destiny a ton, and they announced Beyond Light, I ordered Beyond Light, the like, deluxe edition. And then I stopped enjoying Beyond Light, or I stopped enjoying Destiny. It was just like, you know what, screw it. I don't necessarily want to be giving Bungie a whole bunch of money. So I refunded it, and Steam let me refund it. And then I went, well, I want to go find out what is part of current free-to-play Destiny 2, which is apparently a little weird right now because the stuff that's supposed to be free with the season isn't in yet, because they're trying to get people to do like the new expansion stuff, like the new expansion story and such first. So that's a little weird. But then I went in and went, wait a second, why does this say that I have the season pass? So somehow, when I refunded the deluxe edition, or whatever the hell it was called, it refunded the having access to the expansion, so I still needed to buy that if I wanted to play the expansion stuff. But it didn't refund the season pass part? So I have the whole season pass? So I just kind of went, well, that's fucking weird. I guess I should try it then? And went, yep, it's actually, like, perfectly good and fun right now, and it turns out the thing that annoys me that Bungie does is when they very slow roll story stuff with the season, which means the beginning of a new expansion is always my favorite time. It's just like, yes, give me that new story and all that new good whatever. Hi. You definitely scared me a little bit. No, it's okay. Like, you didn't scare me as much as you could have. So thank you very much for that. You know what? Here, let's just cheat. That was a meaty slap.
Okay, you and I made the same thing.
Yes, it was just like, okay, then that was a slap.
You say meaty slap, and I was like, I'm looking for another word, sex slap. When you're done,
Yeah.
you let me know so I can eat this up.
Yeah.
I just know things get weird.
Yeah, the microwave does some weird stuff. Oh, goddammit. Oh, shit. Okay. I was gonna show you my horrible, stupid setup, and now I can't, because I just threw the bag that the chicken was marinating in away. Oops. Here, I will cut to the widescreen to just show you that, Hey, Damasu! Oop, not that screen. I don't even know what that screen would do right now. I was keeping the bag in this flower vase so that it was like in there and open so that I could just reach in and grab the stuff out without the bag falling over or doing anything weird. So there's not actually any goo on me. Ah, there it is. I just had to say it out loud to find it. I just had to say it out loud to find it. Come on, heat up. It's like almost freezing outside again. And the worst part is, it's not even almost freezing outside because it's almost freezing. It's a mostly fine, like, late fall temperature, but it's super windy. Like, we're at a wind chill of, like, the wind chill is dropping the temperature by, like, 20 degrees. Okay. Matching light-up unicorn hand sanitizer holders. That's very adorable. Okay. Oh my goodness. Let's flip this a slightly lazier way. That did not work out in my favor. Oh well. I hoped that not having the flip be on camera would remove the totally non-existent performance anxiety. It didn't. Surprising no one. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess unless someone thought I had performance anxiety about flipping chicken, then I guess it would surprise you. Okay. That's got to go for a couple more minutes, so while it's going, who's ready to cry? Me, because for some reason sweet yellow onions make me cry. No other onions do, and I will never understand that. I will never understand that. Why did I decide to do 2 instead of 1 large one? This would have been done so much faster if I decided to do 2. Here, maybe the smell of our mobile compost bin will stop me from weeping openly. Hey, Miriam, how are you doing? It is a good... I like it a lot. Like, it doesn't work this mic, it doesn't work the best if someone else is here with me, but it works really nicely when it does. We also have the lapel mic, which I think is technically slightly higher quality than this microphone, but its connection can be a bit spotty. Oop, yep, there's the smell. There's the smell. Nothing for you. Okay. Like I said, I'm still getting like live text updates from my mom, and it is probably the most wholesome chat interaction I think I've ever had. She's cooking along with me. She's making pot pie. Okay, these are all done. Well, they're as done as we want them to be. So I'm actually going to turn the heat down here a little bit. Actually, I'm going to turn the heat off and scoot this off the heat entirely, just so that we can reclaim this space. I am back on the wide shot, right? I think I'm on the wide shot. I should check that. Whoop. But again, we are not treating this as... Ooh, hey, there's that. That is our timer for checking on our fries. They are definitely not done. Wasn't really expecting them to be. We are going to do a quick swap of them, though, just so that one doesn't heat or one doesn't overcook. Also, hey, just a warning, if you're one of those people who doesn't use parchment paper a lot, and you are doing something like fries in an oven on parchment paper, 450 is actually hot enough to burn the parchment paper, so hey, watch out. Because parchment paper is weirdly hard to catch on fire. Unless you really work at it, or forget. I can happily say I have never set parchment paper on fire. Also, I feel like I missed a bunch of stuff. Does coffee count as cooking along? Probably. I mean, depends on how you make your coffee. Oh my goodness. Sorry, there's actually enough chat that I can't see it all on the iPad. 2 stray ferns did some... Wow, Zuo, you had like a fucking busy day. Also, Zuo, again, I'm sorry that we passed out so early last night we did not see your message about doing Pokemon raids. We were just dead to the world. Also, hang on. Right, Mom sent me a picture, which I assume is of her chicken pot pie. Or like chicken pot... Yeah, chicken pot pie progress. Because it's the... Haley, does the filling of a chicken pot pie count as a stew? Because I feel like it does, right? Yeah, I'm honestly not sure about that one. Like, I know shepherd's pie is a stew, but shepherd's pie also usually doesn't have, like, the whole... Like, everything is pie.
Yeah, I think it could. Did I cut this too big? God damn.
Did you get enough, or did you get extra felt?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I just cut this too big.
Oh, okay.
And I also cut this too short.
This outer one does not want to come off. Okay.
So this should lay flatter, but it's not.
Okay. Haley is finishing up her, her... I've already forgotten what it says.
I can't adult today, cross stitch.
I can't adult today, that was it, yes.
Do you mind if I microwave since you're not right next to it?
Nah, it's fine.
Okay.
Like, it might go a little weird, but hey, this is your warning. Haley's gonna microwave a thing, so my connection might go a little wibbly.
I'm hungry, goddammit.
Yeah, do it.
I'm telling Chad that, really.
They might not be able to hear you because of the sensitivity on this mic. Oh my goodness. Okay. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, that's weird. It like because right. Yours doesn't have this. This one has an inline feature where if it's connected to the base properly, I have it set so that I get like an immediate reverb of my own voice, so I can hear it and tell if I'm doing anything weird with it. But it's so fast that I don't like speech jam myself or anything. But once in a while, especially with like the microwave going, or if I go too far over against this wall, it turns off, and that's my key of like my sound might be going through, but I'm losing connection. I need to throw all of this into our outside compost bin again soon, because this is, like, composted very well. You can't see it anymore because I've covered it with all of the fresh stuff from today, but the rest of it's actually looking really good. Hello, dogs. Of course, I put it away when I still have the butt ends of the onion to throw in. Attention span of a dead gnat. And there's the Momra. Yeah, chicken, onions, veggies, white sauce. Honestly, it looks really good. Like, it looks... The picture that you sent me basically looks like you're doing a... you're at the step where if it was a, like, shepherd's pie, you'd just be at the point where it's, okay, and now throw the whole thing in the oven, throw some mashed potatoes on top, and it's done. I wonder if... Is that why we keep doing shepherd's pie? Because it's so lazy and easy to do?
I mean, I keep making it.
Yes, but I also very much encourage whenever you do it. Meanwhile, I just come up with these stupid, complicated things.
Fairly easy because you gotta cook and mash your potatoes.
I guess. Now, if only I could make the timer stop with my voice. God, that would be great. Okay, these actually look like they're done. That's good. You might. I've honestly never tried. So, maybe? Well, unfortunately, I've removed any need for a timer, but I'll try it next time. Okay. So those look pretty good. Let's just hang these down here, actually, because I shouldn't need them again for a while. Oh my goodness. There we go. Also, before I forget, this is probably too big of a pan, but hey. Wait, why dead? Who's dead? What dead? It's like a stew that's 75% of the way there before it goes into the crust. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably a good way of calling it. Okay. I should finish up these onions so I can actually, like, continue with the cooking process. What's up? Okay, sorry. I just thought you wanted to say something. It looked like you wanted to say something. Hello, Cosmo. I see you. I think chat can see you, too. Right up until he tries to steal something like an onion that will make him sick. No, he'd never do anything evil like that. Never. Unless you put one of the mats in front of the oven and then he just sits directly in the way. Because he wants the mat that is the warmest, of course.
Well, normally it's actually I'm standing on the other mat.
That too.
Or you're standing on. Somebody's standing on the other mat.
I do still think he wants the warmer one.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you?
Probably. Except when the oven's at like 400 and then no. That's too warm. Oh, there come the... Yep. My face is burning. I don't know why yellow onions are always the one that gets me.
You know you still have autumn mix in there.
I have what?
Autumn mix?
I don't know what that means.
Candy corn, pumpkin.
Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, I've just been eating things much more slowly. Ah! Nope, my eyes are just shot now. This is my life. At least it waited until I was done with all of them, instead of hitting me right at the beginning and making me fight my way through all of it. Oh. Why? Why does it have to be my favorite onion that attacks me so? Oh, the dead Gnat, why it gotta be dead? Because it's sort of the opposite of like you have cat-like reflexes, yes, dead cat-like reflexes, where it's yes, the thing had good reflexes, but now it's dead. In this case, it had a shitty attention span, now it's dead and has an even worse one. So that's why the Gnat has to be dead. Oh god. That's better. Whew. See, Miriam, I hope you have fun with your D&D setup. Oh, the eyes. Okay. Yep. So now it's going to be butter in that pan with onions for about 3 minutes, followed up by basically slowly adding all of our other spices and things in until we reintroduce the tomato sauce, or not reintroduce, introduce the tomato sauce and bring the chicken in at the very end. Which means I can also pull out the sausage that we'll be using for our sawmill gravy, because I think we can probably manage doing both of those at once. Probably. If I can be trusted. Probably trusted. Right, how much butter do I need for this? 2 tablespoons of butter. Yes, okay. The extreme laziness of just hacking off a bit of a block of butter. God, and I thought I was weeping from that thing on Desert Bus with, I've forgotten his name. Oh my god, I've forgotten the kid's name. They just finished it on Desert Bus. Oh my goodness. For anyone who's not watching, basically they had a kid looks definitely did not actually appear to be a kid anymore, but still, someone who was given a wish by the Make-A-Wish Foundation, who decided that what they wanted to do with their wish was they wanted to use their wish from the Make-A-Wish Foundation to donate to Desert Bus, which is probably the most wholesome thing I've ever heard, and gave me a tiny bit of diabetes, and I was just like, oh nope, I'm just gonna sit here and try and not experience emotion for a while. And yeah, fun thing about HRT, on the way that I'm doing it, I can't not experience emotion anymore. Like, I cannot suppress emotions at all, which is maybe a good thing, maybe a bad thing. I haven't decided yet. But it was also just one of those oh, this gives me so much hope. Because my understanding was not that the I've never been entirely clear on whether or not who gets a wish from Make-A-Wish, like if you have to have a terminal case or if it's just a significant issue. And it sounds like they there is absolutely no reason to pry into this poor person's long-term disease, but just saying something along the lines that they have an autoimmune disease, but just the going, yes, I have been given a one chance to make a wish, and the wish that I'm going to go with is to donate for this thing that makes me happy and I know makes other people happy is just so good. You didn't have a Tangela before?
No!
Okay. You believe it has to be terminal? Okay. I didn't know whether it had to or not. That's more depressing then.
I haven't had a Tangela the entire time I've been playing.
I feel like my frame of reference for all of the early Pokemon is weird, just because for so long there were only the Kanto Pokemon. Like, for the first year, I think Pokemon Go only had the Kanto ones. And then since then, they basically added a new gen every... I want to say it feels like 6 months or so. Okay, trying to see if that's cool enough for me to put the pans here. You want to melt more, you little bastard? Come on. If you finish melting, I can throw the... If you finish melting, I can throw the onions in, which means I can move those, which means I can move the other thing, and we can start doing so many things if I can just move the hot pans full of glorious fried potato goodness. Actually, here, we can cheat a little bit. Because I'm going to cut up our sausages ahead of time just to make my life a little bit quicker. You can do sawmill gravy with literally any kind of sausage. I'm doing my personal favorite, which is just maple breakfast sausage. I mean, I guess you could do it with any sausage, but I now that I said that out loud, maybe don't do it with, like, chorizo. I don't know how that would go out. Plus, chorizo tends to have a lot more fat that it releases when you cook it. So, yeah, maybe don't do any sausage. But I'm okay with a little bit of sweetness coming in. Come here. Get out of the... This last two just did not want to come out. Now I've just got the nose running from the onions, and it just will not go away. This is my life now. Yeah, breakfast sausage is great, but I especially love a good, like, maple or brown sugar breakfast sausage. Okay. I'm cutting this ahead of time just because that way I can make sure that we're getting a quicker and more even cook on it. And because I don't necessarily care about them getting released from their casings. Debatably, if you want a more true-to-form sawmill gravy, you should probably do this with a casingless sausage. So, like, patties would probably work better, or if you just have an entirely uncased sausage, or make it yourself, that would also work. Although, making your own sausage is such a pain in the ass. Like, technically you can make it with anything, but it's just such a pain in the ass, and it only works really well if you've got a good solid meat grinder. Like, you can make it with a food processor, but as with most things that you can make with a food processor, So let's be honest here, we don't even have a real food processor, and we're a bunch of culinary professionals. We have a tiny little, like, fake thing, which I've definitely used before on this stream. And every time I use it, I go like, right, it's tiny. I cannot fit that much stuff in it. So usually whenever a recipe is just like, yeah, just throw it in the food processor, I end up going, okay, well, I'm going to make, this is going to be like four trips to the food processor for me then. Because it's like a 2-cup, I think, bowl. And even then, you really don't want to fill it all the way because it's just not going to work. Our house is so weird. Now that I'm thinking about that, it's like we have 2 KitchenAids, we have top of the line blenders, and our food processor is that weird tiny little one.
That food processor is also like 7 years old.
Oh yeah, it does great work for what it is. It's just so weird to think about how stacked the rest of our house is kitchen-wise, and then just the food processor's like, I'm doing my best. Mm-hmm.
And when she was stacking for my theoretical first kitchen. It's the little food processor that does its best.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's bad by any means. It's just like, it's so weird to think about the rest of our kitchen by comparison to that food processor. Is very silly. Like, hell, you can see the 2 KitchenAids on camera right now. They're just like, they just sit there, because there's... Turns out, most kitchens are not built to house 2 KitchenAids. Surprising no one, I hope. Okay. With that done, You can come over here so I can throw our sausage in here. Get on in. Okay. I know occasionally I do the cooking or the cleaning as part of the stream. Just because of how much we're doing today, I'm not really planning on doing that this time, but we'll see. And I think I've basically got enough fries for... I'm going to make this as like... That's probably going to be good for 2 bowls. And I think that's probably good for 2 bowls on the tater tots. Sorry, my brain went somewhere. Syrup on breakfast sausage is great. Like, I am not going to fight anyone on that. That's great. You shake yourselves out. Yes, get coated in the delicious remains of our chicken marinade. Also, here, let's cut over the screen so you can see the silliness that I'm doing over here. Where's the button? There's the button. There we go. Oh yeah, KitchenAid is a brand of mixer that debatably most stand mixers are based on their design. They're one of the weird mixers where usually the company that makes... Usually companies make like a... They go, we work for professional level kitchens, or they make for consumer level kitchens. KitchenAid is one of the weird ones where they're just like, nah. Because they have so many different models that generally you're going to find a KitchenAid in most American kitchens, and you'll find one in most... Oh my goodness, brain, what is wrong with you today? Most American restaurant kitchens as well. So yeah, I've got our sausage going over there, and our onion going here. Actually, this onion could probably go to a slightly higher temperature. Just because I'm lazy and don't necessarily want to be stirring it. Like, one of the benefits of this pot is that I can use it to saute pretty easily. And we're just having the onion sort of pick up a lot of the stuff that was left behind. But, of course, I am actually going to have to use some sort of stirring device eventually, so I might as well get that set up early. For the sausage, we're mostly just trying to cook it and render out the fat. Are these still warm? Okay, no. So, with those cooled off a little bit, I'm going to go get some garlic prepped for this. Don't think our sawmill is going to be pretty straightforward. Like, it's just flour and milk and salt and pepper. Like, this is one of the reasons why I don't remember the etymology of it, but sawmill gravy is tied to the whole gravy train being like you got tied to something that's just like making your life easy. And I don't remember how or why. But part of that, I believe, is because it's such an easy gravy to make, in theory. Then again, I say that, and I have really fucked up some gravies in my household. If my mom is still in the chat, she can vouch for at least 2 that I remember screwing up for Thanksgiving dinners. And that's not including the time that we had a pan explode in the oven when I was making... Wait, was that Thanksgiving? That might have been not Thanksgiving. That was a fun one. No one reacted well to that. Turns out that after the 1960s, a new company bought Pyrex, who makes most American... oh my god. That was Christmas, right, yes, because it was a pork roast, yeah. Pyrex is the company that makes most of the, like, baking-safe glass, but a new company bought them in the 1960s, and they continued to operate under the Pyrex name, but they changed the method of tempering the glass to make it heat resistant, or not even heat resistant. Technically, it's resistant to thermal shock, which is uh, a hot pan entering a cold area or a cold pan entering a hot area. Uh, and the new method was deemed suitable, but not as good as the old one. And it basically, we ran into one of those cases where it's just like opening the oven door introduced enough cold air after it had come up to a high enough temperature that it was just like, nope, not dealing with this. And just absolutely exploded. And we heard the bang, and we're going like, what the hell was that? I don't see anything wrong. And then we figured it out when I think Mom opened it and went, why is there ice in there? We went, I didn't put any ice in there. And then it just sort of like smacked us across the face of like, oh, that's glass. Good job, us. Good job, us, me, whatever. Sorry, I'm definitely just fighting with a big head of garlic right now just to try and get enough, but not too much. Which is apparently going to be my life now, because I'm trying not to get too much garlic, I swear. And I've somehow ended up with like 3 or 4 big cloves and a bunch of small cloves, and they don't want to let go of their paper. I don't necessarily want to do the slap it with the frickin' knife method, but that might be what I'm going to do here. Because it just does not want to let go. Come on. It's going to be one of those days where I almost wish that we had a garlic press. I was half expecting Haley to like storm me in here and go, we do have a garlic press, you idiot. And I just have somehow forgotten that we have it.
No, sure
Okay. I didn't think we did, but I was kind of expecting it. Because it is the silliest unitasker possible, but also the easiest.
Mom really didn't buy a whole lot of multitaskers when she was outfitting kitchens. So.
Let go of the paper, you little fucker. It just will not let. It
wants to be one with the paper, goddammit.
I clearly. I'm doing all of this for. The best part is I'm not even on camera right now. It's looking at that, but I'm just like, I'm doing all of this for 1 clove of garlic that won't let go of the paper. I have like three more big ones to do after this. Okay, there. It's mostly off. I will suffer the rest of the paper. Because it's not even like a garlic press would fix this anyway. It would just be, haha! You still have to get the paper off, idiot! Outsmarted by... I don't actually remember what family garlic falls into. Because it's something weird and unexpected. Daisies? Is it daisies? I don't think it's daisies. It's some sort of flower. Orchids? Might be orchids. Ooh, that sausage smells really good. Yeah, glass definitely got in the food. Like the whole pan exploded, so the food was sitting on the rack in the oven, and like it still shattered like safety glass, so it was just like tiny cubes of glass everywhere, but there was no way to know that there wasn't glass inside the pork. I don't remember if we ate that pork or not. I would hope we didn't. I think the idea that we might have eaten it, and the idea was basically that, well, it's safety glass, so there aren't any like tiny shards. I just need to clean off the bottom half of it, basically. The part where it was sitting on the pan what exploded. Oh my goodness. I had 1 clove that worked with me just fine, and now all of the other ones have to fight me again. So I'm hitting it with the knife, which Helps you get the paper off. The problem is that then you're opening the garlic, which releases all of its glorious sticky juices. Which means you can get the paper off the garlic, but then the paper might decide that, well, you've got this glorious garlic juice on you, so I'm going to stick to you instead. And I guess the smell, but honestly, I am not in any way annoyed by garlic smell. Garlic smell is awesome. I didn't even try to take the paper off that one. Just went and hit it with the knife anyway. Like, it's just especially attached at the top of the cloves. That's so bizarre. That's not a place it normally attaches strongly to. I'm going to level with you. We're not getting a ton of fat out of this, so I'm going to turn the heat down on it a little bit, just so that we can try and get it to render a little bit more fat out, but I think we might just say screw it. Oh, no. And deal with... So this recipe calls for using a very specific amount of the remaining sausage fat, and I don't think we're going to quite hit that amount. So what we'll probably just do is throw the flour in and just say screw it, and make do with what we got. And if it doesn't feel good enough, we can throw some oil in if we need to. Because that is one of the issues, in heavy air quotes, with a lot of modern sausage, is just it's so lean. So it can be a little hard to use as a sauce base. So like I said, if we were doing fresh ginger, this would be the point where we'd throw it in with the onions, because we're only doing fresh garlic. I am throwing that in, but not any fresh ginger. We'll be doing that as... I'm sorry, I'm going to hiccup and die. We'll be doing that as a powder. Which means adding it in later once we've got a little bit more liquid going. Okay, I'm going to save these sad little cloves. Oh my goodness, come here. I do wish there was a way to open this composter without, smelling the compost, but oh well. It's actually not the worst compost in the world, which is not a high bar, but hey. It's an argument that I'm willing to stick with. Please release my hands from the garlicky stickiness. Oh, it's a lily. Right, that's it. All garlic, onions, and I think I'm relatively certain on shallots, are all lilies. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't going for like scientific name or anything like that. Just I know that they belong to a family that is shared with some flowers, and I just could not remember which flowers. Where's the other tongs? Let's not use that. Sure, that's a weird choice, but it should work for what I want. There we go. Sorry about the sniffling, it's just, like, this is my life now. Okay. So we've already got our onions in, we've got our garlic in. Then we're going to start seasoning before we throw in the tomato paste. Oh, right, or tomato paste, tomato puree. Right, Haley wanted me to find out if this one, this one's good, because this tomato paste expired in September, so let's find out if it's still good. I mean, it's canned tomato paste, so I don't have low hopes. Or tomato sauce. My god, why do I keep saying paste? They're entirely different things. Oh, it looks totally fine. Can opener, why are you an ass? And tastes fine too. Okay. 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 I know you can't smell it, but we're starting to get a little bit of the garlic scent, which is good for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull those out and let this keep going for a second. You are all filthy with par-cooked chicken goo, so I cannot trust you. So I'm going to try and remove this all with a slotted spoon, just so that I can leave as much fat in the pan as possible. I'm going to turn this down onto low heat, and then move it off the heat for a little bit, just so I don't have to worry about burning anything else for a little bit, as we're adding stuff to that. As we're adding stuff to this, sorry. I can never remember what the exact camera angle on this one is, so I want to make sure that folks can see. Oh yeah, and I meant to do... I talked about this earlier, but just for anyone who missed it at the very beginning, I'm calling this both my most ambitious and least ambitious cooking stream, at least in a while, because I meant to do full-on making paneer for this, but I could not find a place anywhere nearby that had cheesecloth. Okay, there we go. There we go. I could not find cheesecloth anywhere, which unfortunately is necessary because you basically need to... It's a very easy cheese to make at home because it's just cow's milk and an acid, but then you need to squeeze it, basically. And I couldn't find cheesecloth anywhere. So I just went, well, I guess I'm going to buy some. And then it still took me forever to find some paneer for that one. And I also toyed around with the making the fries, and then went, I don't hate me that much. No, we'll just use pre-made fries. Okay, so we've already got our ginger in here. Definitely more ginger than we needed, or garlic than we needed, but is there really such a thing as too much garlic? Obviously not. Okay, so I'm going to read through these one at a time, because I'm going to hit them individually. We're doing a teaspoon of ginger. I'm going to aim for sort of like right there on the top, just so it's all grouped up, so it doesn't cook as I'm adding them in one at a time. Up next is a teaspoon and a half of garam masala, which unfortunately is in the least well-shaped, there we go, thing, so I can't quite get a full teaspoon measure in, so we're just going to have to do this by the half teaspoon, so 3 half teaspoons. I am doing these as heaping, just because this is generally the flavor you think of when you think of tikka marsala. And yes, I'm doing these all with like ground dried spices. No, it's not the best way possible, but it's also the most responsible way possible I can. Then we need a teaspoon and a half of ground cumin, which, because it's, I think this is McCormick, isn't it? Oh, actually, no, this is Kroger. Like, is a responsible size that, oh, I love this. Like, this is the stupidest design for spice things, but it makes it so easy to get the stuff out without, because it's just like the exact size of a teaspoon. Doesn't work on a tablespoon, which is a pain in the ass. But it's great for a teaspoon. I mean, the secret tech here would actually just be, please let me weigh everything, but that would bring me joy. That was the cumin, so we need a teaspoon now of turmeric. Don't want it to be too red. We want some yellow in there too, so that we get that nice orange color by the end. Also, I apologize if you hear a weird banging sound. It's the wind uh, has grabbed one of the doors to our little shed outside and is slamming it open because we can't figure out where the lock for it went, which only exists because there's no other way of closing the damn thing. And then I need a teaspoon of coriander, which I do not have out yet for some reason. I believe because it wasn't actually in the... That's cardamom, cumin. Where's our coriander? I swear we have some. Maybe we don't. Do we really not? I mean, there's not a lot of stuff that uses coriander, but that seems a little silly. Also, I can definitely tell that someone in the British Isles wrote this recipe. I just thought of that. Hang on. They don't mean coriander. They mean cilantro, because they expect me to use it as the garnish. Oh, wait, no, they don't. No, they do actually mean coriander. Oh my goodness. Right, because they actually made a distinction. Wow, yeah, we do not have any coriander, do we? Well, that was a screw up on my part. Unfortunately, coriander and cilantro are really not interchangeable, but in the British Isles, for some reason, they have this thing of... Wait, that's more turmeric, isn't it? That's curry powder. We're not using curry powder. We basically made our own curry powder, admittedly missing an ingredient. They have this weird thing of calling all of the cilantro plant coriander, despite the fact that coriander, which to us is a spice because it is made from the seeds, I believe, has an entirely different flavor than cilantro, which is the leaves. Yep, okay, well, they did not. Because that's the distinction, if you've never learned that, the distinction between herbs and spices is what part of a plant they come from. Spices are roots, berries, bark, and seeds. Herbs are basically just leaves of the plant. Okay. So we want to let this go for about a minute, just to let those flavors cook a little bit. And then I believe we're just throwing the tomato sauce right on. Yep, we're doing the tomato sauce right on, and then we're just gonna be letting it simmer for like 10 minutes. At that point, I'll swap this one with this one so we can focus on the sawmill. Unfortunately, it does seem like I made the fries way too early, but they're fries. They'll live. Also, they're freezer fries, which means I feel way less bad about them coming down to room temperature. Like, they'll be fine. Okay. And then we're also going to throw some chili powder in here at this point, once I get all of this tomato sauce out. Get in the trash can. Into the trash can. It's mostly in the trash can. And some salt. Oh good, I do have the salt. I wasn't sure if that was back over on Haley's desk, because the breakfast burritos that we absolutely adore are not exactly salty. And they aren't exactly, let's say, seasoned enough. Like, they could use more, so we often have that at the side. And how much... I just want to always make sure that I have my numbers right, because I feel like I get very lax with numbers on this stream sometimes, so I'm just like, yeah, let's try and not be too lax. So just another teaspoon of chili powder. It'll be just spicy enough that I will not be able to eat all of it. And then a teaspoon of salt. However, that I will eyeball. There we go. Okay, we'll get this nice and mixed. And then we'll move this over to the other burner just because we don't need to focus on it a bit, because it just needs to come up to a simmer. And it needs to hold that simmer for 10 minutes. Yep. This one, meanwhile, is going to need some attention. Just to be clear, I want to make sure that I'm not adding the cream in beforehand. Chili powder, salt, yep, let simmer for 10 to 15 minutes, stirring occasionally until sauce thickens, becomes deep brown red color. I mean, it already is there, but sure. So the trick here is basically that we need to get the water state of this boiling, and then lower the heat back down so that it's not at a full boil, because we don't want a full boil. We just want a bit of a boil. Okay, you are just entirely in the way, weird little thing of mixed nuts. Oh, right. The eternal gamble. Is this brown sugar, or is this powdered sugar, or is this flour? I think this one's flour. Okay. Oops. I don't think I've ever done that. I just accidentally popped our here. Our flour thing, we should probably put this in a different vessel, has this little, like, flappy door, and I accidentally popped the door off, which I don't think I've ever done before. So that was new. So yeah, we need 1/4 cup of flour. Are you the... No, you're the third. You're the 8th. Apparently I'm doing this the silly way. I've also definitely used a way too big pan, but oh well, we'll live. Okay. What heat are we at want this at? Cook over low heat. Okay. So I've got this at about a 3 out of 10. We're going to do 1/4 cup of flour, which is 2 of these. Whisk together. Cook for about 5 minutes, and then we'll take it off the heat, where we will add milk and season to taste, because that's sawmill gravy. It's really that easy. Hey Siri, set a 10-minute timer. Okay, that's just because this tomato mixture is definitely ready to go. Or ready to... It is... Technically, it's at a light boil, and I'm trying to bring it back down to just a simmer. Oh yeah, I'm probably going to have to add some fat to this, because that's just not enough. Which, kind of expected. Like I said, a lot of flours nowadays are just not that high fat content. Or not flours, but there should not be a fat content in your flour. What the hell am I on about? A lot of sausages nowadays are not terribly high fat content. So yeah, I'm gonna throw a little bit of... sure, let's just go with some butter for this. Actually, we've got some room temp butter right over here. Because what we're making here is quite literally a roux, which is just a combination of flour and fat that is used to thicken most gravies, sawmill or otherwise. It's just the base for that, including gumbo. Although gumbo technically uses what's called a brick roux, so the longer you cook this, it will take on more flavor but lose its thickening power. Might want to do this with a spoon now that we've got this sort of like grouped up. And you usually make gumbo with a... Yeah, this still needs a little bit more fat. There really wasn't a ton in here. You make gumbo with a brick roux, which is largely... Oh my goodness, brain. Not thickened. Like, it offers very little thickening power. but it is very flavorful. So it doesn't provide all the flavor of a gumbo, but it does provide a lot of the, like, body, I guess, for lack of a better way of putting it. That's not correct. There we go. That's the right texture we want. It should sort of be Play-Doh texture. See that? Like that. That's why I'm just like, yeah, we definitely did not have enough fat rendered off of those. And not even because we just did it improperly. There just wasn't enough fat to really render off of them. I wish I could get this microwave light to work again. I should work on that again at some point. Yeah, we might want a little bit. Screw it. Let's just burn the rest of this this already room temp butter, because we only got a little bit of stuff hitting the right texture. Okay. Could someone throw something in chat just so I can make sure that my view of chat is not borked? Because it might be just borked. Because I am doing this on the iPad, and sometimes the iPad is just a little bit silly. Okay. Now that we've got this to the right texture, I feel pretty good to say that I'm okay with... Thank you, Manfred. Yep. Okay, so my chat is not borked. It's just folks are quiet, and that's perfectly understandable because it's a Saturday night. Ooh, yay! Hey, at least cross stitch is officially done. Okay, so I've got how much longer left on the timer? Oh, perfect. So when the timer goes off, this will be done. That's weirdly good timing. Like, technically, it'll be 30 seconds over being done, but it's so nice. Also, I just cut over to this shot again if you want to show chat. Yes, Haley has finished her proof that she has the patience to stab something several thousand times. Oh, legs, why do you hate me so? Okay. 10 minutes, stirring occasionally until thickened. Yep. Then cream and... Oh, right, this actually calls for a little bit of sugar, too. That's because a lot of curries are usually made with coconut milk that tend to be a little bit sweeter. This one is not going for any coconut milk, so we're doing cream and a little bit of brown sugar. And yeah. Oh, goodness. Oh. I can't tell if this is if like my body is going, you should have done Ring Fit today, or this is punishment for doing Ring Fit so often. When it's just like, it hurts to get into like the leg portion of tree pose, but also it's weirdly comforting because part of my body is just like, oh yeah, no, I've now begun to associate that with the relaxing part of the morning when I'm not running in place. It's probably not the best, but whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, come here, last of my tea. Oof. Yeah, I'm not 100% looking forward to getting back into Ring Fit tomorrow, but I also missed it today. Like, it was definitely one of those, oh, I feel weird not doing it things. Especially after eating a really hearty breakfast burrito. That wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't... It's so bad calorically if it weren't for the fact that it literally has hash browns inside. But that's part of why they're so good, because they have hash browns inside. Okay, I'm gonna pre-measure the milk for this. Just because I can. I'm just measuring the milk before it's necessarily needed. Or, not milk, cream? Cream.
There's there is a difference.
There's a difference, yes. Ooh. Oh, thank you, Zuo. I'm honestly really happy with it. I hate that I stopped playing it for so long. Yeah. Come here, heavy cream. Yeah, so we need a cup and a quarter. This recipe calls that you could probably use evaporated milk. I would not recommend trying to use evaporated milk for this. But I guess you could try? Okay, cup and a half. And how much brown sugar? A teaspoon of brown sugar. That is the least brown sugar I've ever put in anything, possibly ever. I don't remember which camera I'm on. It just occurred to me. I should probably know that. Okay. Well, Haley will probably use this 2% milk that I bought with the hopes of making... okay, so I bought 2% and whole milk. I bought whole milk because I was hoping to make paneer. But since I'm not going to be making paneer, I'm just going to use the whole milk for our sawmill. Because I'm making sawmill gravy. I better goddamn enjoy it. Mercifully, don't have to measure because this is just a pint, and we only need a pint. So, what? That you might actually consume 2% milk, and if you don't, I will. I was trying to decide between using the whole milk that I hopefully bought for paneer when I forgot that we don't have cheesecloth and that no one has cheesecloth, apparently. Did that timer not go off? Or... Oh, it has 26 seconds left. Okay. I was very afraid that it was just like, have I lost all perception of time? It's just slipped away from me? Like, my ability to not have a running nose? Good lord. There you go, you can do it, trash can. There it is. Wait, why did you move away from the timer? Camera being interesting again? Well, guess what, camera? We're not looking at you anymore. We're going to the cooktop cam, you weirdo. Okay. We're going to move this off the heat. Actually, you know what's going to happen here. We need to move this one off the heat. So, what we're going to do is very silly. And I'm aware that it's very silly, so go with me on this journey. I'm going to clean off that. Get that out of the way. Throw the heat off. Throw this heat off. Scoot this one. Hot, hot. Move it into the middle. Get our milk in. And just start getting this stirred. I'm going to keep this in the middle basically until one of these two spots cools down a bit. I'm also just going to throw the rest of this salt in. That might be too much, but we'll find out together. The curses of a ground pepper shaker. Okay. Okay. This is actually starting to look pretty solid. We'll have to keep stirring this for a while. But this is going to be fine. Just the goal is to really make sure that you can't see any of the roux in it and keep it off the heat because more cooking will actually lose your thickening power. I'm going to scoot this one over onto this heat. Yes, turn you up a little bit. So I'm going to keep trying to use left hand to stir here. Fortunately, I'm not as good at that, especially with the whisk. We're going to get our heavy cream into our sauce. We're going to follow it up with the chicken. But first, I want to go grab our brown sugar. Ooh, that is very dry brown sugar, but it'll do for this. So you know what? Instead of measuring, I'm just going to grab one of these hunks that should be more than a teaspoon and throw it in. Camera's being interesting. Alarm. Okay. I just want to make sure that I didn't miss anything else. Okay, there's that. And then our chicken needs to go back in, which is set up a little bit. Okay, so this one still needs a bit of heat. Yeah. So this needs to keep cooking for probably 8 to 10 more minutes. Oh my god. I really should move these recipes closer. Okay. Also, to be clear, what I should have done there, were I a smart person, would actually be to remove this from the heat and then add the milk in a little at a time just to really get it worked. But now we can have this back on the heat because now we need to thicken. So we're going to try and get this to thicken back up. We need to get it to a simmer. And once it's at a simmer, we'll just keep stirring it occasionally to make sure that it doesn't do anything weird. And eventually we get to throw our sausage back in. I'm going to have some, though. Oh, yep. Breakfast sausage was such a good idea. And the good thing with both of these is that because these are functionally sort of a gravy well, this one is this is straight up a stew. This one is a gravy-based sauce. Both of these will still be good in future days. So we don't have to worry about eating it all tonight or eating it all in the near future. These can be refrigerated and just set aside and go, okay, hey, I want to have some more poutine again. Or with this one, I just want to have some rice and I'll throw this on top. I mean, you can also do the same thing with this, but this one especially, because technically a lot of Indian curries are stews, tend to end up being even better several days down the road. And it does look like that brown sugar broke up, so that's good. Unfortunately, now we're at that super fun part where we get to hurry up and wait again! And I need to not eat any more of that sausage because it was delicious. And I really want more. So hey chat, I'm back here to asking, how are all of you doing? Because I continue to hope it's well. Ooh, I was not stirring this enough. Because I continue to hope that it's well. I hope it hasn't somehow gotten worse. I know that Zuo talked about how their day had been so far, and it generally sounded quite nice. I should move. You know, it would be nice if I was asking people things and could see the chat instead of moving it over. It's over there. Because I'm smart like that. Actually, this is already thickened up pretty nicely, nice and quickly. Sorry, I had to use... I'm pretty sure that sentence was functionally not a tautology. What's the thing where it reads the same way backwards as forwards? Because I'm pretty sure I just made a sentence that was exactly that. Very quickly did something nicely quickly, yeah. Ooh, yeah, this is actually pretty... I think this might actually be done already. We might want this to be a little bit thicker, but I'm going to pull it off the heat and just let it see where it's at. Hey, Alfcat, palindrome, thank you. Also, hey, Alfcat, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in a minute, man. Well, while I have you here, do you have any ideas for our next cooking stream? Because I was trying to get ideas from... not ideas, I was trying to see if you or Lording Death had any suggestions, and I do want to know if y'all do.
What is he doing here? It is so late for him.
What? Who?
House cat.
Oh, because it's Saturday? That's all I could think of.
It is so late for you. I'm just concerned.
I'm more concerned because his response to my question was a man, a plan, a canal, Panama. Which is a palindrome, but I'm just also like, what? That doesn't work. No, what? Ooh, okay, this is, yeah, that's a nice texture for a sawmill gravy. Fuck yes. I've been, because I know that my mom was watching the stream earlier, I've been trying to swear less, and I don't know why, because she knows that I swear. But, oh, look at that sawmill gravy. Yeah, this needs to come off the heat, because this is already done. That's beautiful. Oh. Definitely a bit oversalted, but the offset that should be offset when we add the sweetness of the sausage back in. In fact, I'm actually okay with doing that right now to try and bring the temperature down. Yeah, I know you don't care. It's just more of a there's some part of my brain that still remembers, no, you don't curse in front of your parents. That's how you get yelled at. Or curse in front of friends' parents, because that's also how you get yelled at. Because there's just brain cells forever dedicated to that in my head. I will never get those back. You could definitely use a little bit more heat, because you're not simmering. I want you to simmer. You know what I completely forgot about? The egg. I completely forgot about the egg. Give me just a minute while I go grab the thing. I'm gonna try and go with a poached egg. Gonna try. We'll see how that. We'll see if that goes. We'll see if that goes. I have a hope. I'm only gonna do the one egg because I'm only gonna make the one bowl of. Listen to those ball bearings, whatever those are. You didn't actually go all the way back, did you? There you go. I'm only gonna do the one because I'm only gonna do the one plated poutine. But we'll see how it goes. I have hope. And I think we've got white vinegar. Ooh, I should make sure we have white vinegar. Like 98% sure we do. There's the simmer. There we go. It's a very light simmer, but that's good. Where would I put white vinegar in this house? In the cabinet of many things. I mean, the actual answer is the cabinet of many things, but it's also a question of, you literally put it there, me. Where did you put it? Okay. Okay, where did I... Right, I just used all of the salt. Which means I need to go refill our salt dispenser. And I'm going to swap these two, just because this just needs to keep heating. So I think this is more important for y'all to see. Well, more important. More useful? Sure, more useful. Oh my goodness, this sawmill gravy looks delicious. I want to be just eating it. Okay. So what we're going to attempt to do is a properly poached egg. And the easiest way to do that, for differing values of ease, because arguably the easiest way to do it is just don't, is to have a relatively shallow bit of water, which is what I've got here. It's about 1.5 inches deep. We're going to doctor it with, what is it, a teaspoon of water? Or it's a teaspoon of water. Oh, brain. Yeah, teaspoon of salt, and then 2 teaspoons of white vinegar, which is generally not in any possible way useful for cooking, but in this one case is actually pretty nice. So I'm going to actually try and let this come up to heat a little bit more before I add the vinegar, but then we're just going to crack an egg directly into it, start sort of a whirlpool going to try and bring the egg together quickly, and pull it out. Well, not immediately, but pull it out after, I need to check the exact time. But that's the hope, is that we will have a single, neatly, perfectly poached egg that we can rest on top of our glorious breakfast poutine, which I will eat for only slightly late for us dinner. I'm actually really happy with the way that this tikka marsala looks, and I'm probably gonna make it a lot more, because this was really quite easy. Like, there was a marinade prep, but that was about it. You have a wintry recipe that might work, need to look it up. Also, it uses stale or very crusty bread. That we can certainly manage. Yes, add water. Alfcat is commenting on silly things that I said that I didn't completely finish the thought on before it escaped my mouth. Look, I know that, like, okay, to be clear, no one can see.
You don't actually know what I'm thinking.
Yes, but no one can see you either, so they can't tell what I'm doing here, but it's just like Haley is clearly looking at me judgingly.
I'm actually going... So, there's not necessarily judgment. It's my brain going...
Let me walk next to you so you can get picked up by the mic.
I said it's not necessarily judgment, it's my brain going, yes. My British love. Because that's what I've been at.
Ah, okay. Why finish thoughts? I finish the thoughts, Lena. It's just that I don't finish the thoughts before they leave my mouth. Like, I start the sentence coming out of my mouth before it's finished in my brain, so it's just sort of the thought has begun. We'll see where it goes. Also, hang on, just look at this sawmill gravy. It's so good. I'm actually really happy with it, to the degree that I'm very annoyed that I waited so long to start boiling the water to make the eggs, and oh my god! Look, Alfcat, you've been to these streams for literally more than 3 years. You know that there isn't a finish. I just keep talking. Half the time I talk before I've finished, like, having the thought. So also, to be clear, what we're trying to do here with poaching, and this is the rule with all poaching, is we don't actually want this water boiling. We want it to be just on a simmer. Which, unfortunately, like, we can temp it with our fancy-dancy, wherever the heck where is it hiding? Where is it hiding? Oh, there it is. Our infrared thermometer. And go, oh yeah, it's actually not warm enough at all yet. Because what we want here is to be a simmer, which you can see a little bit of steam. Actually, I can't remember how good this camera is. You can see a little bit of steam coming off on this side here. I'm trying to light it with the thermometer to show you a little bit. Which means that we're making progress. Actually, wow, oh, that was the pan I was getting temp on. Okay. Because we're at about, like, 151, and this also gets weird because we're in Denver, because that means that our water boils at a slightly lower temperature. Basically, what we're hoping here is a roughly 200-degree water. And that's when we will crack a single egg into it. Well, we'll add some vinegar, and then crack a single egg into it, and hope everything goes well. Also, I guess, just in case I have to specify a chicken egg for any of you mad people who have not chicken eggs, don't try this with an ostrich egg. I don't know if it would work. I got a giggle out of Haley for that. I'm proud of it. Like, that is a high bar for me. I don't think I usually get giggles out of Haley for terrible one-off jokes. Also, hey, Lena, how are you doing? I didn't have a chance to check out your stream today. No, we're talking about the kind of poaching that's cooking, not the kind that gets you shot by the Lord's guardsmen. Aleph Cat, not everyone has... Your experiences aren't universal. You need to understand this. I was going to go with the, like, you need to understand that cis-het white guy is not the universal experience. And I was like, wait, I don't actually know if you're any of those things, so I'm just going to go with British is not universal. Hell, you get on me half the time about using... Well, actually, I feel like I've been good about it, but I know you get on other people about using British when what we actually mean is someplace within the British Isle, or, yeah, the British Isles that isn't necessarily British. Ah, that Stormheart is still so good. Oh god, still sore? I'm sorry. That sucks. Oop, that actually looks like it might be the right temperature now. 166. Nope, not quite. However, I think this is actually pretty good. Which means all we're waiting on then is the egg. And then I will do 2 nice little plated bowls, and I will eat probably the most hearty dinner I've had in a while. And that's including the absurd burger from yesterday and fries. Which made me remember that In-N-Out was supposed to open in my state this year, and I don't think it's happening anymore. Like, I've driven by the nearest location, and I was so happy, because it was like, oh, I accidentally found where the location is, and it's really nearby. But it does not look like they're going to be opening this year. Which makes me very sad. Quail egg, 10 seconds. I don't think I've ever had a quail egg, now that I'm thinking about it. I plan to start the whirlpool if because it's so difficult to tell if you're being silly or not, Aleph Cat. I do actually plan on starting the whirlpool first. It's just right now I'm waiting for the temp to come up. Then I will be adding in the vinegar. Yeah, we're honestly probably at a good-ish spot here. Good-ish spot here, let's say. So we are attempting what I'm going to call the lazy method. There's 1. There's 2. Actually, it's a little more than 2, but the first one was a little shallow, so I'm sure it balances out. Because... Let me see. I think that's the right one. Nope, I had the right one the first time. Damn it. Because what's going to happen here is we are going to start the whirlpool, crack the egg, and then remove it from the heat. And let it sit for 5 minutes. This would be so much easier if I could still do the one-hand crack. Whoop, no, that separated immediately. I don't think we're getting a nice... Nope, we are not get that immediately separated. Actually, it looks like there is still some white around the yolk that's holding it together. So we won't have as much of an egg as we want, but it will probably be fine. Hey Siri, set a 5-minute timer. Yep, that was probably too much acid, honestly. Given how quickly the yolk just broke down, that was probably too much acid. So that was my fault. Oh well. Also possibly too fresh of an egg. Oh, I could have used one of those really old eggs, but we're not sure if they're ours or Taylor's, and I keep forgetting to ask. So, oh well. Well, that's going, because honestly, nothing else of interest is going to happen over there. Let's cut back over here, where my night. Wow, did I do all of the horrible things to this area while y'all couldn't see? I bet I did, didn't I? Because it was clean before. Oh my goodness. Sorry, there's some udon in here that is. Ah, damn it, doggos. Sorry, there's water dripped on the floor over here, and I was still wearing socks, so that was an experience. I'm gonna go with a negative experience. Sure, let's go with that. That's definitely exactly what I was just implying. But yeah, now we do the fun part where I just kill 5 minutes, I guess, by trying to make this look all neat and tidy, and then I'll make our 2 bowls and take the picture, and oh no, I need to figure out a stream to throw us to. I'm gonna level with y'all. I might just do Desert Bus because it's Desert Bus and they're going, and they're very good people, and they could always use more folks watching. Haven't decided yet if that's gonna be what it'll do, but we'll see. Oh my goodness, this looks delicious. Ooh, I hadn't taste tested this, have I? Oh god, it tastes delicious too. Oh, that's really good. That's real. Okay, it's definitely spicier than I would normally order, but that's really good. Oh, yep. I'm so happy with this. I have a bad feeling this is going to end up being like a regular part of my regular part of my cooking. Just maybe have to do it with a different kind of onion so that I don't I don't spend the rest of the cooking time sniffling. Because that would have been nicer if I didn't have to spend most of the cooking time sniffling. Otherwise, that's delicious. Also, yes, sorry, I'm trying to clean stuff up a little bit ahead of time, just so I don't have to do it while I'm trying to scarf down delicious, delicious dinner. I mean, if I were responsible, I would have done it during the stream, but I don't know why, I don't feel like I can be quite as amusing while cleaning. So I only do it near the end, or if I've got someone else here cooking with me, so that they can be entertaining while I clean up random schmutz. God, this is the other issue with the face-mounted mic, is I feel so much worse about the sniffling. However, I think we should actually be able to get pretty much everything into one dishwasher load. Yay! There's the chat. Oh no, am I frozen again? I don't know what's wrong with this camera suddenly. There, is that better? Sorry, this camera's been doing some weird stuff all stream, and I'm not sure why. Like, it's probably not the cable. I wonder if it's just its connection? I'm not there. Oh, that's a new issue. Hang on, what? I'm going back to the actual computer, because that's a new one. Huh. Are you kidding me? Okay, hang on. You know the root issue with this is that even though there's a delay on this camera, I can't tell if y'all are how about now? Like, am I here now, or is it just a weird static image? Because I'm afraid it's the weird static image. Okay. I think it might have been that at some point, because Streamlabs OBS is the bane of my existence, but I have to use it for these streams so that I can control the camera switching. At some point, hardware encoding got enabled for that camera, which is always the wrong choice, and it does some weird stuff. Okay, I am in shot and moving now. Okay. My poor sad, no longer warm. You know what I just realized? I didn't get the cheese ready for either of these. However, I think I'm going to do both of them as just like square cheese, so we'll be fine. I don't know why I'm doing that all the time now. Let's not do too much there. Let's get a bit more of the sauce without the sausage, just so that when I come back to this in the morning and go, ooh, you know what sounds great? That thing I made last night, I'll have that for breakfast. So that there's actually something there. Okay. You won't be able to see these super great on this camera. I'm probably just going to run them over to the office. Just fair warning. So that I can have them while we're doing the sign-off. But I want to do this here just so I can take a quick like thumbnail picture. Cheese-wise, I'm doing a good sharp cheddar because I want a color difference and because I want a distinct flavor change as well. I could do this with shredding it, but I'm just going to do it with a knife because I can do it relatively quickly. That is actually probably more than enough. Just got like 2 thin-ish slices. And this will melt a little bit, but not too much. Okay. Actually, I might have done too much, yeah. Oh, well. Is there ever really such a thing as too much cheese? I mean, probably. Your digestive system will definitely say yes. And then we do the same thing with the paneer. Which, admittedly, I don't remember if I've ever just had paneer. I've had it in plenty of things, but I don't know if I've ever just had paneer. It's a fresh milk cheese. Like I was saying originally, the plan was to make it, because you can make it in about an hour or 2 hours. And this stream has been... Oh, this stream has only been 2 hours? Okay. So, it's sort of got a texture of kind of like mozzarella. Kind of. Just want to try a little bit of it, though, because, again, I don't think I've ever actually just had paneer. You know, again, like mozzarella, it's relatively flavorless. A little bit sweet, kind of creamy. But unlike mozzarella, it doesn't melt, which is sort of what we're using it for here. Is just as a thematically appropriate, but just sort of a texture element to add to this. These ones I'm actually going to cut into a little bit smaller pieces. There we go. Hello, Yupa. Are you being an evil little bastard? If you jump onto this cutting board, you'll be in so much trouble. Is he on camera? Looks like he should be on camera, but I can never keep straight. where the angles are.
Yeah, you can see to about here.
Okay. So you could see, like, his head. Oh my goodness, this...
That is maybe not the right tool for the job.
No, but it's the one I had. And I don't necessarily want to dirty another tool. What am I looking for? I don't remember what I was looking for. What?
There's that for you.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that because he was... oh, there he is. Okay. Sorry, I just want to get these in bags before I completely forget, because no attention span.
I just know he would do that for conscience.
Oh, for sure. Oh, Haley is definitely being sparkly. I don't know how... The question is whether or not you're being sparkly or whether the camera's being weird. Her top has, like, constellations and individual stars on it, so it might be both.
Yeah, I'm not physically sparkly.
Yeah, but sometimes cameras do weird stuff. Especially, like, let's be honest here, this is not a high-quality camera. It's high quality for a security camera, but... yeah, like, it's better than any security camera that's ever been used on, like, a TV show is. So... if you'll excuse me, I appear to have temporarily forgotten how to use Ziploc bags. Good lord. Oh, my brain is a hard place to live. You get down from there. Or get up into your window, that also works. Okay. Yes, someone's going to be very annoyed that I didn't use cheese curds, and they can bite me. Okay, let me get the egg, and I will meet you all over in... no! No! Ah! It kind of punctured. Kind of. Only sort of. Actually, did not go all... it did not go as badly as it could have. Where's the salt? I swear. Lose my head if it wasn't attached. Okay. So, I'm going to take a very quick picture just for the thumbnail. And then I will meet all of you... there we go. Over in... the place. The place with the thing. I will keep the camera up so I can watch you. Uh-oh, why do I have a voicemail? Who the hell called me at 7:30 and left a voicemail? Oh my goodness. Oh, oof, the legs. The legs are bad. Oh, right, that won't work. That button. Oh, wrong screen. That's the one I want. Oh, this has been a cavalcade of errors, hasn't it? Oh my goodness. Thank you all so very much for joining me. I just want to give you the quick look of, like... okay, I'm actually super hang on, this camera is way too blown out right now. Properties. Not perform. What the hell is performance? I hate you, Streamlabs OBS, with all of your bizarre settings. Stop moving my thingamajigs around. Okay, that's a little bit better. So yeah, this is, like I said, the egg sort of started to run, but it's fine. It's totally fine. And then, oh, I'm actually really looking forward to that one. And this one too, because we've got our beautiful paneer on, I didn't mean to have them all coming up one side, but I did, and I'm so happy. But yeah, thank you all so very much for joining me. Thank you all. I hope you've all had fun. I'm trying to find a good person to throw to. Oh, actually, you know who I've literally never had a chance to throw to?
we're going to throw over to Kitty Aurora, because they're wonderful. Thank you very much for coming by. I would love just, again, thank you so very much. I love doing these. As a reminder, we can only do these cooking streams because of the support of patrons like you, especially this one in particular is because of Aleph Cat and Lord Inkdeath. So thank you both so very much. You can find everything that we do at all the places down below. Patreon.com/layeroflore. That's, oh right, this is pulling from a cached version, so it doesn't have the coffee. I hate you, Streamlabs OBS. You can find us at patreon.com/layeroflore, youtube.com/layeroflore, on Twitter at layeroflore, and on coffee.com/layeroflore, or layeroflore.com to just find everything that we do. But yeah, we're going to be throwing over to Kitty Goror. He is a member of, I can never remember, the Bonfire. So folks like Earthquake Gaming and Lord Inkdeath as well. But yeah, thank you all so very much. I'm going to just slam both of these as soon as the stream ends, and I will see all of you tomorrow, because I will be back in like 13 hours to play Ring Fit. I will have the actual recipes in the YouTube VOD, Apodo Nuevo. But thank you very much for stopping by. And yeah, go give Kitty Goror, I swear I can talk, some love. Again, he's a great streamer, and he's playing, I believe, his first ever playthrough of Persona 5. Bye, folks. Oh, right, that button doesn't work because this is Streamlabs OBS.